Just Ash here and welcome to another episode of Spooky Week. Today we're staying spooky and I'm going to share with you my top 5 scariest games. Now, this was actually a really hard list for me to write because as it turns out, I don't play a lot of scary games. I don't know what it is. I can read scary stories, I can watch scary films, all with no problems, but scary games seem to do something to me that actually makes me terrified. Maybe it's because playing a video game is much more immersive than watching a movie. I don't know, but anyway, let's get on with the list. Now, number 5 isn't technically a horror game, but it is set after an apocalypse, and it does have a really creepy atmosphere. It's Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I know that this is a walking simulator, and it's not meant to be overly terrifying, but it is quite creepy. What it is you are wandering around the village of Yorton, which is a stereotypical, quaint British countryside village, and everyone has disappeared. Everyone has gone to the Rapture. Weird that. And the reason why it makes this list is because when I played it on my own in the dark at 3 o'clock in the morning, because I have no social life, it was actually quite creepy. It had a very oppressive atmosphere, and I think the reason why it creeped me out so much is that everyone in Britain has at some point been to a village like Yorton, and it really hit home that, hey, I've probably been to this place. This could have very easily happened in the town where I used to live, and I think that's why it creeped me out so much. The next game on my list also isn't technically a horror game, and I promise we will get to some proper horror games soon, but it is The Long Dark, especially the survival mode in that game. The reason why is because it is you versus nature. There are no other human characters in the survival mode. There are a couple of other human characters you can interact with in the story mode, but that's still pretty damn creepy, to be honest with you. The reason why the survival mode of The Long Dark scares me so much, though, is that there's no end goal. The idea is you just survive as long as you can in a very oppressive, wintry atmosphere. You have to build your own shelter, catch your own food, purify your own water to drink, and one mistake that you made hours ago that you didn't realise at the time was a mistake can cost you your life several hours down the road. I know for a fact that this can happen because I once accidentally left my cooking pot in a shelter, didn't pick it up with me, and then my character starved to death because I had nothing to cook the food that I caught. That's why it's so creepy. It's too realistic. Right, we have made it to the real horror games. Number 3 on this list is Corpse Party, and I am including every single Corpse Party game that I can in this umbrella. I love the Corpse Party games. In particular, the remake of the first one, which I think is called Corpse Party Blood Covered. It looks like a cute little RPG Maker game, but it mixes together everything from horror that I really love. It's got a very tense storyline that is steeped deeply in supernatural elements, and it's got a lot of lore behind it that you can find out as well. It obviously has elements of gore because I just can't get away from it. It's always there when I do lists like this. I'm really sorry, guys. Please don't judge me. And the scariest thing about Corpse Party is the very real chance that any of the characters you have grown attached to could die at any moment. Until Dawn takes the second spot on my list, and this is because it was so different when I played it to anything else that I had played before then. What I like about Until Dawn is the level of immersion that you've got with the fact you can interact with pretty much everything, you have total control over the characters, and your choices actually matter. Now, I personally liked to play it in such a way where I was role-playing each character and tried to make decisions that were realistic for them. I unfortunately suck at QTEs though, and that game is very QTE heavy, which meant nothing that I wanted to do happened, which actually added a layer of horror to me because I was trying so hard to make sure everyone survived and I just couldn't do it. I also like the fact that the little bits with the psychiatrist in between chapters, the answers that you give there very subtly change the game in a few different ways. Like there's one question where you can answer spiders, roaches or crows, I think, and that affects what animals show up later in some of the scary cutscenes. And on top of all of that, I love the fact that it uses Wendigos as its supernatural big bad. The Wendigo is a cryptid that doesn't get enough love, it's almost never seen in the media, and just that fact, the fact that I'm not desensitized to them, again, adds an extra level of creepiness to Until Dawn. Okay, I will be revealing the top spot in just a moment, but I do need to take the time here for an honourable mention. It's the Five Nights at Freddy's series. Now, I don't like these games. I think they are boring, they are lacking substance, and some people get far too obsessed with the lore that I'm not 100% convinced was there in the first couple of games, and only came about when people started saying, oh, this particular thing has meaning, and Scott Cawthon went, yeah, sure, I'll roll with that. But Five Nights at Freddy's deserves an honourable mention here because it is the only thing in the past 5, 10, maybe even 15 years that has actually managed to successfully jump scare me. So, onto the number 1 spot, and it is Alien Isolation. This game terrified me so much that it is the only game on this list that I haven't played to completion. I loved this game, do not get me wrong, I am not saying that I didn't enjoy it, but the atmosphere that the guys have managed to create in it is so claustrophobic and insular that it just scared me so much I genuinely couldn't play it till more than halfway through. I think I only had one meaningful incident with the alien, like I saw it a couple of times, but I don't think, like, I think it attacked me once and that's when I went, nope, I can't play this game anymore, it is far too much. I do mean to complete it in the future at some point. Maybe I'll stream it, maybe I'll put it on the channel. It won't be fun for me. It's far too scary for me. Too spoopy 5 me, which isn't a thing that people say anymore, but I say it, so there. But one of my favourite things about Alien Isolation is the way that they really stuck to the aesthetic of the first movie. I'm going to really get myself in trouble here and say I didn't enjoy Alien at all. I thought it was a little bit boring. I can appreciate why it was scary way back in the 70s, but now I just look at it and go, oh, it's a haunted house in space, it's not that bad. But Alien Isolation, with the fact that it is stuck to the aesthetic of that movie so well and still manages to be so, like, technically scary. There is so much built into the way that this game works that makes it scary. It's an absolute, like, it's a work of art. It really is. And I will finish it eventually if I can bring myself to ever go near it again. And that is the end of this list. Leave your top 5 scariest games in the comments below. Please don't hate me too much for not liking Alien. I've already been through it with literally everyone I know, so please leave that one alone. And if you've enjoyed this video, remember to give it a like. And don't forget to pour yourself a nice cup of alien goo. I'm running out of these guys. And join me tomorrow at 8 for the next Spooky Week episode.